All right, here we go, man. Let me plug the joint right quick. What guys don't get about having a mouthpiece? One more time. What guys don't get about having a mouthpiece? Now, this is a Patreon requested video. So I'm going to read the question that was sent to me via email. But before I get into all of that, okay, let me say this. A lot of you guys are placing too much of an emphasis on having a mouthpiece. And all you're really looking for are pickup lines, something that's going to get you closer to sex. That's the wrong way to look at it. That's the wrong way to look at it, right? And the problem with a lot of guys have a remedial way of thinking, meaning that you think a mouthpiece is about a series of pickup lines, right? PUA type shit. Some things you can say to a woman to increase the odds that sex can happen. That's not the way that it works. Guys, I need you guys to understand that there is often a synergy or congruency in what you say in conjunction with how you actually act. I don't think guys understand this, right? If you're saying a bunch of shit because it sounds cool, but that's not really your personality, how you're behaving will not vibe with what you're saying. It's going to be off. I don't think guys truly understand that. So when we talk about having a mouthpiece, that's basically part of your charisma, your own unique brand of charm, how you choose to articulate yourself verbally, right? So if that's based on your own personality, that means how you actually behave or conduct yourself is in alignment with the shit that you say. But if the shit that you say is not in alignment with the way you actually behave, it don't fucking matter. What guys don't get about having a mouthpiece. So let me read this email, and let me just say this again. For all you guys that be hitting me up privately, asking me for video requests and shit like that, like I said before, and I'm going to say it again. If you value the information, show me that you value it. Because if you're asking me to do a video for you, you're asking me to take time out of my day, right? So if I'm providing value, where's the reciprocation? So if you want me to consider doing a video for you, I would highly suggest you get on that Patreon or you get on that channel membership, right? So let's move on to the motherfucking email. So he asks, it seems like there's all this hype on guys needing to develop their mouthpiece. No, there's not a lot of hype. That's just the way you perceive it. But anyway, he goes on to say, I could be wrong, but from what I've gathered, it seems the mouthpiece doesn't matter as much once a woman is sexually attracted to you. Would you do a video explaining the relationship between a woman already being sexually attracted to you and when it's beneficial to utilize your mouthpiece? Now, here's the problem. Y'all need to stop making everything about women. Stop making everything about women and make it about yourself. Make it about you wanting to present yourself in the most genuine, authentic way, period. You always want to present yourself to women in a most genuine and authentic fashion, regardless of what the fuck you're talking about, right? Now, if you don't know, having a mouthpiece or quote-unquote mouthpiece, this shit is old, right? If you go back to the 1920s, to the 1930s, right? The term mouthpiece was used to describe a lawyer, specifically a defense attorney who represented mobsters. That's where the term mouthpiece really comes from, is a defense attorney. Now, if you think about a defense attorney, when he's in a court of law and he's arguing a case for his client, what is he trying to do? He's trying to do this. He's trying to speak in a compelling fashion, right? Now, when you think about women, right, you think about evoking interest, attention, and admiration in a powerfully irresistible way. But you can look at public speakers even. And I did a YouTube short. I believe it was a YouTube short, and it was talking about Malcolm X, how women would literally get orgasms when they heard him speak. So he had a very powerful aura about him. He had a very powerful presence about him. And when he spoke, that magnified his presence, right? So what am I saying with that? First of all, as a man, you need to have a dominant, assertive, masculine presence about yourself in conjunction with the way that you speak, quote unquote, having a mouthpiece, right? That could evoke interest, attention, and even admiration in a very powerfully irresistible way. Women could gravitate to you because of the way that you make them feel with your words. Okay, I did a video, well, I did multiple videos, and I said in those videos, some in live streams as well, that I had an ex, woman I used to deal with. Well, we became, more than just fuck buddies later on. But at the time, we were just fuck buddies. And I remember her telling me, I don't know if you're running game or playing games, but I like it. Don't stop. What was she talking about? She was talking about the way I was being with her, my behaviors, the way I was conducting myself. But she was also talking about the shit I would say to her, how I would speak to her. So how I would speak to her, AKA having a mouthpiece, and how I conducted myself worked in concert. And she loved the way that she would feel when she was in my physical presence. But it worked in concert. Why? Because how I conducted myself was authentic. And the shit that I said was in alignment with my own identity. So the shit that I said was also very authentic, and it was consistent with the way that I was behaving. But the woman was so captivated by the way she was feeling, she literally said, I don't know if you're lying to me. Basically what she was saying, I don't know if you're lying, if you're playing around with me, but I like it. Don't stop. Okay, this is how powerful having a mouthpiece is. This is how powerful you conducting yourself in such a fashion is when it comes to women who are feeling it, right? So again, let me plug the joint. What guys don't get about having a mouthpiece. Now, let's get to something that he said. He said, let me go through his question. Right, I could be wrong, but from what I've gathered, it seems the mouthpiece doesn't matter as much once a woman is sexually attracted to you. How are you going to know that a woman is sexually attracted to you? How are you going to know that? Okay, do you think women are always going to tell you that they are sexually attracted to you? Not all the time. Do you think women are always going to show you that they are sexually attracted to you? I mean, if you guys are around each other enough, eventually they may. But when you very first meet women, I'll give you an example. Okay, you could meet a woman, and within the first minute to 2 minutes of talking to her, she is already sexually attracted to you. Okay, you spend another 20 minutes talking to her. And within that 20 minutes, you end up saying shit that turns her off. You had her at hello. But after 20 minutes of conversing with you, she changed her mind about you. She don't want to fuck with you no more. Now, when you were talking to her for 20 minutes, you felt, man, we're having a good conversation. I'm attracted to her. I believe she's attracted to me. She is showing me interest. Unbeknownst to you, she's already down to fuck. But how would you know that? Do you think women are just going to tell you that all the time? Do you think women are going to just start grabbing on you and touching on you to show you that they want to fuck? Not necessarily. I mean, it happens, but there are a lot of times when it don't happen. So how are you going to know that a woman is feeling you sexually? The problem with a lot of you guys, you just talk about nothing. So let me break something down to you guys. Let me see if it will let me. Let me see if it will let me do this real quick. Okay, I gotta delete. something. Okay, hold on real quick. Okay, let me add that. Okay, let me add this. Okay, so when we talk about having a mouthpiece or being able to speak to women in a very alluring fashion, right? Number one, assertive. Most men are not assertive. Most of you guys aren't assertive. So you're already behind the 8 ball of even developing a mouthpiece because you're not assertive, right? Second thing, transparent. Most of you men aren't transparent. You're very indirect and very passive when you speak to women. Again, that puts you further behind the 8 ball of developing a mouthpiece because you can't even be straight up with women, right? Number 3, intentional, deliberate, right? You speak with a purpose. You don't say shit just for the sake of saying shit. Most of you guys, because you're passive and indirect, you just ask women a bunch of fucking boring questions. A lot of you guys, you do interviewing style questions. You're not intentional about the words that you speak. You're not deliberate. You're not purposeful. Again, that puts you further behind that 8 ball of developing a mouthpiece. Number 4, you must be unapologetic, right? Most of you guys, you care what women think. You don't want to upset women. You don't want to offend women. You don't want to chase women or run women off and lose your opportunity to have sex with them. Again, that puts you further behind the 8 ball of developing a mouthpiece. Number 5, the outcome is secondary to the message you want to convey. Most of you guys will never develop a mouthpiece because you're too concerned with the outcome. You're outcome dependent. And the reason why you want a mouthpiece anyway, or the reason why you want to learn to develop one anyway, is so you can get some motherfucking pussy. You're already losing with that motherfucking mindset. I'm not concerned with the outcome. When I'm conversing with a young lady that I'm attracted to, or there is some level of interest there, I'm not concerned with whether I fuck or don't fuck. What I will always do in every scenario, 110% of the motherfucking time, is I will be assertive. I will always be transparent. I will always be intentional and very deliberate in what the fuck I want, what the fuck I'm trying to accomplish with the situation. I will always set a woman's expectations as to what she can expect dealing with me. She'll never have to guess or wonder what the fuck is up with me. What a lot of you guys, all women do is fucking wonder and guess what's up with you. Because you're not clear and concise. You're not deliberate. You're not transparent. You're not straight up, right? And I'm unapologetic. I don't give a fuck if women like me or not. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what women think about me personally, right? I don't give a fuck. You guys, you give a fuck, right? 5th, saving the best for last, I don't give a fuck about the outcome. I'm going to convey a message to a woman. Even if she's not interested in me sexually, she's going to get that message loud and clear. There's not going to be any mincing of words. I'm not going to temper my words. I'm not going to tap dance around the fucking pussy. No, when I talk to the woman, I'm talking directly to her pussy, right? But I'm talking directly to her pussy from her mind. Her mind. But a lot of you guys don't understand having a mouthpiece, right? That's what it's about, okay? It's about speaking to a woman in such a way where you are mentally massaging her clit from her brain, right? You speak in a very compelling fashion where you evoke interest, where there's attention garnered your way, where there's admiration in a powerfully irresistible way. Women love the way that you speak. Women love the way that they feel based on what you say and how you say it. So when a young man was asking me, right, if a woman is sexually attracted to you, does a mouthpiece matter? Yes and no. Okay, once you identify that a woman is sexually attracted to you, you don't have to say anything. Just don't fuck it up. The problem, okay, with that, okay, and I'm going to speak to you directly because you know who you are, because I've gotten on you for this, right? So let me just tell this brief story about his situation, and then we're going to break down what I really want to get to as we finish this shit up. So this young man who asked for this video, right? He had a situation. Now, he's had a couple of situations where his inability to convey the proper message is fucking up his situations because he's trying to do too much. He's talking too much, right? Right? So it's funny that he's asking about a mouthpiece because he's trying to develop pickup lines that will increase the odds that he can fuck, but he's doing too much, right? When all he really got to do is just be assertive and transparent and very deliberate. And then a lot of times that will cut through the chase. So this young man in particular, one of my clients, right? So he met this young lady one night. This is probably about a month or two ago, right? He met her. First night they met, he took her back to her place. I mean, they went back to his place, rather. They had a wonderful time sexually, right? And she was really into what he was able to do to her. So much so that when she left his crib, she was still talking about and reminiscing how the night went. But what did he do? What did he do? What do I always tell you guys? Stop giving women options. Stop talking about shit you shouldn't be talking about. So he started talking about his hobbies and his interests. He started talking to her about what he was doing with his time. That, oh, I'm going to go out of town. I'm doing this. So what ended up happening was he had a situation that was primed and ready for a sexual relationship. But what the woman ended up doing is the woman refused to meet him back at his place to have sex with him again, although she enjoyed it. What she did was she started telling him, because he would call her like, hey, come back to the crib. I want to replicate that experience. I want to do that shit again. And she was like, well, meet me here. And then she started basically challenging his request to meet her back at his spot. And she wanted him to meet her at a bar or out and about wherever she was at. And he fucked up that situation because he was trying to be too smooth with it. He was trying to get real estate in her mind. But because he didn't understand what he was doing and he was talking too much, and he gave her the misleading impression that she could have more than just some dick. So what did she try and do? Extract non-sexual time, attention, and intimacy from him. When he already had the sex, he was already fucking. But he fucked that up by talking too much and sharing too much. Right? So when we talk about having a mouthpiece, part of having a mouthpiece is being gamed up and having the knowledge and the wisdom enough to know when to speak, what to speak about, and the frequency or how long you talk about that thing that you're speaking about. Sometimes you got to know when to shut the fuck up. Let me also say this about having a mouthpiece. A lot of times it's about timing. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it, and at the time you interject the shit that you say. The way you say things and timing is very, very important and crucial in a lot of situations, right? Because if you go up to the woman and you talk about sex without even ascertaining whether or not the woman is even feeling you, the situation is dead in the water. If you're talking to a woman and you're waiting too long to flirt, you're waiting too long to get to what it is you truly want, a woman can lose interest because she can think you're boring. So having a mouthpiece oftentimes negates the fact that people think you're boring or that a woman thinks you're boring. Now, let me get into this before I close this up. Do y'all know that having a mouthpiece can literally mean the difference in you getting a job that you applied for? When you're in that job interview, okay, guys, listen to me. Hold on. Let me take that off. Let me put this back up. Let me put that back up right there. Do you know they actually have courses, and courses maybe is a bad word. Coaching. They have coaching where they teach you how to interview. They teach you how to sit. They teach you about posture and body language. They teach you how to speak, pitch and tonality, what not to talk about, what to speak more about, right? Essentially, they're teaching you how to have a mouthpiece. They're teaching you to be compelling and evoking interest in yourself, right? Because you want the interest to be on yourself, because that's going to make the hiring manager more compelled to want to hire you. Okay, this is why sometimes you might apply for a job and they might not be starting for like a month out, but they'll give you the job on the spot. They'll offer you a position right away. Y'all know how many jobs I've been offered a position right there in the interview, and I literally been told, you know, we're still interviewing people, and we haven't really made our final decisions on who we're going to invite back for training, but we would like to extend an offer to you right now. That's how captivated they were by how I was speaking and how I was conducting myself. It's not just your words. It's your energy. It's your aura. It's how you're conducting yourself. It's everything about you. It's your overall presentation, which includes the way that you speak. What guys don't get about having a mouthpiece? I'm out.